This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 35 in this series that is all about jazz guitar. Right now we're working on some of the most classic jazz voicings, the chords that we use to play so many different tunes. So, in this lesson specifically, we're working on the chords that I introduced in the last lesson, or really the last couple lessons. But we're going to work on them in a 2-5-1 configuration. We have two options. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So we've worked on a minor 7th chord with a root on the 6th string and a root on the 5th string. We've worked on a dominant 7th option. For our dominant 7th options, we've got the 5-9 off the 5th string and the 5-13. So we're using that 13th for the one off the 6th string. And then our 1 major 7. So we've got a major 7th chord off both the 6th string and the 5th string. And for our major 7th and minor 7th chords right now, they just have the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th, whether that be for the major chords, the major 3rd and major 7th, and the minor 7th chords, the minor 3rd and the minor 7th. Our dominant 7th chords, though, we're doing the root, the 3rd, the flatted 7th, and then some sort of colored tone. So for the 5th string form, we have that 9th, and on that 6th string form, we have the 13th. Now up here on the board, I have them drawn in how they relate to each other when we work through a 2-5-1 progression. This is a progression that happens so often, whether it just be the 5-1 or the 2-5 or the full 2-5-1. This is something that we run into with so many tunes when we're playing jazz. So this is a great thing to work on, just getting down these 2-5-1s with great voice leading. So if we start with this form that's written here on top, and I'm just going to do these for the key of B flat. So for C minor 7, I'm going to have my root, this one, at the 8th fret of that 6th string. And we've got that form there. Then to go to the 5, meaning which will be F7, we just go to this next form, and that's why, as I mentioned in the last lesson, I like to use my ring finger to play the notes there, and then my middle finger here for that minor 2. Then we go to the 5, where we've got middle, index, and then I can continue to bar that, and it gives me options to play other colors if I want to. And then I've got that 1, 2 frets lower. Interestingly enough, with a 2-5-1, we have the root movement goes around the circle of 4. So we're seeing that C to F to B flat. But we're doing a minor 7th chord, a dominant 7th chord, and then that 1 major 7. So you just want to do that a few times and get kind of comfortable with it. We're going to use just a do dot. We'll do twice on the 1. So you get kind of comfortable with that. Just with that key. I'm using my fingers to pluck each of those strings. You can also strum it. All down strum. Right now we're just keeping it simple with this rhythm. Later on, as we're working on these chords, we're going to talk through lots of different comping rhythms and how to change that up. But I find that it's best to only work on one new thing at once, not work on a bunch of new things at once. So we're keeping the rhythm simple here. Now, once you've got that down, we can work through keys by step. So we're going to do, I've got it up here on the board. We're going to go 2-5-1 to the key of C, and then make the 1 chord become our new 2. 2-5-1, make that 1 chord become our new 2, 2-5-1, and so on. So if we start up at the 10th fret for D minor 7, and then we play G7, and then we have C major 7, we're going to take then and make that our new minor chord, and then we'll go to the dominant chord, and down to the 1 chord, and then we make that our new minor, and we can do one more. And that's all the further that we'll go this round. Then we'll work on this other set. So if we start there at the 10th fret with that middle finger on that root, we have 1, a 2, I want to, we'd have the D minor 7 to G9 to C major 7. Then we're going to make that become C minor 7 to F7 to B flat major 7. We got B flat minor 7 to E flat 7 to A flat 7. Major 7, sorry. We're going to make that A flat minor 7 to D flat 7 to G flat major 7. Now you can do that as much as you need to get comfortable. I haven't gone over chord symbols or the specifics of these chords as much in this lesson because I did that in the last lesson. So if you haven't seen that lesson, you're going to want to check that out and it'll help with all those things. But let's take a look at this other set now. This set that runs off the 5th string. If I do this just where I'm playing F minor 7 here, we have our little minor 7th chord where we've got a little bar over those two at least, and then our ring finger and middle finger. We go down 2 frets to catch that B flat 7. And this time, the B flat 7 is going to have a 13th there, so our dominant 7th chord has the 13th. And then we've got our 1 major 7th. So we got 2, 5, and 1. And you just want to get comfortable with that shape as much as you need to. Just get comfortable playing that 2, 5, 1. With this example, both our 1 chord and our 2 chords just have the root 3, 5, and 7, whether that be the minor 3rd and minor 7th for the minor chord, or the major 3rd and the major 7th for the major chord. And then our dominant chord has the root, the 3rd, and the flatted 7th, so it goes root, flat, 7, 3, and then the 13th is our color tone. And there. So once you're comfortable with that, we can take that through and move the keys by whole step the same way we did with the other. We left off on G flat minor 7. So if I come up to the 9th fret on that 5th string and play my minor 7th chord, I got G flat minor 7 to the B13 to E. Then I make that become the minor 7th, down to A13 to D major 7. Make that become my new minor to the G13 to C major. And I've made it clear around. So if we do just that much together, we got 1, 2, ready, and we got the G flat minor to the B to the E major 7, I should say. E minor 7 now to the A13 to the D major 7. We're going to make that a D minor 7 to the G13. And then we got C major 7. And we end right there. So if we put the two together, now that we've gone through, and in this fashion, we'll get through 6 keys as we're making it back to the key of C. Then we can just change, and I'll show us how to do that. We'll go through another 6 keys. So we start there on D minor 7. With this line, we're going to go through until we run out of space down there. When we get to the G flat major 7, and we'll come up and catch that G flat minor 7, B and E, and so on. So we got 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Starting with the D minor 7, we got D minor 7 to the G7 or G9 to C major 7. Then we're going to have C minor 7 to the F9 to B flat major 7. Then we got B flat minor 7 to E flat 7 to A flat major 7. We got A flat minor 7 to D flat 7 to G flat major 7. Now what we want to do is come up and catch with this form starting on the G flat minor 7. So at that 9th fret, we'll start there. So we got 1, 2, ready, and we got the G flat minor 7 to the B13 to the E major 7. We're going to have E minor 7 to the A13 to D major 7. We got D minor 7 to G13 to C major 7. Just like that. So we've got that one there. Now we can do 6 more keys. So we've done 6 of the keys. If we just come up and start, we can start on E flat minor 7 or D flat minor 7. I'm going to go ahead and start on D flat minor 7. Back with this shape, we'd have 1, 2, ready, and we'd have D flat minor 7. So there at the 9th to the G flat 9 to B major 7. We're going to have B minor 7 to E7 to A major 7. Then we're going to make it A minor 7 to D9 to G major 7. Now I'm going to switch forms, and we're going to go up here, catch that G minor 7, root at the 10th fret on that 5th string, we go red, D, and we got to G minor 7 to C13 to F major 7. We got F minor 7 to B flat 13 to E flat major 7. Then we're going to have E flat minor 7 to A flat 13 to D flat major 7. And then we got D flat minor 7 to G flat 13 to B major 7. So just like that, we can work through by whole step, through the different keys, and we do that in a lot of tunes, so it's a great thing to do. Super fun, sounds really great. Now there's another way to work these 2-5-1s through all 12 keys, and that's where we're going to back cycle a little bit, and I'll explain what that means. So if we start D minor 7, G7, C major 7, we're going to back cycle by turning what we had as our 5 chord into the new 2 chord. So we come back and create the G minor 7 now, go 2, 5, 1, and then we back, have that C minor 7 be next, which was off of our dominant 7, C minor, F7, B flat major 7, same thing, then F7 becomes a new minor, 2, 5, 1, and etc. We go through all 12 keys this way. Now as we're working this, if I start on D minor 7, and I start with this form here, I got D minor 7 to G9 and then C major 7. As I back cycle, I'm going to be going back to where my dominant chord was and turning that into my minor. So I'm actually switching to this form, 2, 5, and 1. And then I'm going to come back, C minor, F, B flat, and then I'm going to come back, F minor, B flat, E flat. I'm going to come back, B flat minor, E flat, A flat, then I come back, E flat, A flat, D flat. Then I come back, A flat, D flat, G flat. I come back, D flat, G flat, B. And in this case, I just have to know I would come back to G flat and come up high, G flat, B, E. Then I would come back, B, E, and A. Come back, E, A, and D. Come back, A, D, come back, and then D minor, G, and C, and we end just like that. So let's go through that one together. This is really great because it forces us to switch back and forth between the different forms, which is stuff that we do in a lot of tunes as well. So you got 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and you got the D minor 7 to the G9 to C major 7. We're going back to G minor 7 to the C13 to the F major 7. We're going back to C minor 7 to F9 to B flat major 7. Then we're going to have F minor 7 to the B flat 13 to the E flat major 7. We're going to have B flat minor 7 to E flat 9 to A flat major 7. Then we go back with E flat minor 7, A flat 13 to the D flat major 7. Then we go back and catch A flat minor 7 to D flat 9 to G flat major 7. Then we go catch D flat minor 7 to G flat 13 to the B major 7. We're going to slide up now to G flat minor 7, B13 to E major 7. Then we're going to have B minor 7 to E9 down to A major 7. We're going to have E minor 7 to A13 to D major 7. And then we're going to have A minor 7 to D9 to G major 7. And then we're going to have D minor 7 to G13 to C major 7. Just like that. So those are great ways to work on these chords. And these are such awesome sounding voicings, aren't they? Super fun. Now, as we move forward in the next lesson, we're going to come and add some color tones onto our minor 7th and our major 7th. So we're going to get a couple more voicings there. It's going to change some things up. So we'll learn some new chords. Going to be super fun. Going to be awesome. These lessons are coming out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And of course, we got Technique Tuesdays, Theory Thursdays, and right now on Saturdays, there are lessons that are working on improvising in that pop, rock, and blues styles. So super great. And of course, there's hundreds of lessons already on the channel. So lots of great help. Hope you're having fun with the guitar. Take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my Guitar Method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.